Okay.
First on the list was the government.
All right.
Covering letter in Amharic.
First and most is the Minister of Agriculture. By law, it is the right of Minister of Agriculture to assign the service providers. So it was very difficult at the beginning to convince the Director of Veterinary Service. And from time to time, we have tried to communicate with him to share our ideas with some of the workshops in the country and outside the country. And that are the people, the first people to be convinced.
It's only through community animal health workers that are selected from the community itself that can at least give primary service and give information in times of maybe outbreaks so that government can act. Otherwise, we cannot just leave them without getting any veterinary service. Now, I think this fact is accepted by all of us.
Then there was the university and the Ethiopian Veterinary Association. But the work of influencing policy doesn't end there.
We are trying to identify other stakeholders, such as the parliament. In the parliament, there are a pastoral group of MPs. And these are very good, powerful bodies which we have to look for. Another institute is the research institute. And all these are the stakeholders or the institutes that has relation with us to lobby or to change their attitude and their policies.
Methods of convincing these policymakers that community-based animal health is a good idea vary. Evidence that shows the success of existing projects is invaluable. Getting this evidence through a project's monitoring and evaluation system needs to be planned right from the beginning.
The reason why the veterinary service of Ethiopia is accepting this approach is actually due to the experience we had with render-based eradication in remote areas.
You bring this and feedback to the policy things. Okay, these guys have done ABCD, which has improved the livelihood of the pastoralists, the community they are serving. So we have to change our policies to accommodate them in the service delivery system.
The last thing is a challenge to the NGOs.
Dr. Ririmpoi's presentation, in which he shares his experience in animal health, is coming to a close.
Be able to push the project through as our president is doing. Thank you very much. It was fantastic, and already people are asking me to talk with them privately. From the way people reacted, some clapping, they were so excited to find out that this thing can actually be sustainable. So I'm sure I've influenced even government people, even especially the NGO guys. I'm very happy about that.
Dialogue and discussion follow, another essential component of influencing policy.
You want to do it, otherwise you can't just get someone and tell them, okay, come here, we're going to do this. So we have to market it to the other vets, and then they want to do it themselves.
Methods used to influence policy are creating fora for sharing information. For example, the creation of decentralized animal health workshops, which before were annual veterinary workshops mainly just for vets, but which have grown to include other policymakers and other stakeholders, including farmers, to share and kind of come up with a way forward and how to overcome the challenges and constraints existing.
Western Kenya branch, the most critical one is the central branch.
So we want these guys in Garissa to plan a trip that vehicles will get stuck there in the...
I wish they come during the rainy season.
Yeah. So it's been accepted.
Too many policymakers have no experience of the areas in which community-based animal health is most needed. Taking them to see the places and meet the people can be very successful in changing their minds.
You have to bring the policymakers down to the grassroots. They have to come and see the situation in the context, and they have to interact with the livestock producers themselves and get the first-hand information instead of hearing from second-hand organizations and others. They have to listen to the needs and the priorities of the community.
Whichever methods you choose, each project should recognize that influencing policy is part of the work of a community-based animal health project. Whether it's inviting government members on an exposure visit or gathering evidence of its success, you should build ways to influence policy into your planning from the outset.
This one's a 6 in a particular month. Okay.
Alale in West Pokot, Kenya is arid and remote with a limited infrastructure. There are few roads and no electricity. The majority of the livestock owners here are pastoralists who move around with their animals to find suitable grazing. This takes them up to 40 kilometers away from their homes, often going over the border into Uganda. Government veterinary services are based in Kapenguria, a 5-hour journey away, and very few conventional veterinary services find their way to Alale. It is the perfect place for a community animal health project. But before setting up a project, a very important factor has to be considered: the local community. There are good ways to approach the community, and then there are bad ways. What do you think is happening here?
Let's go and address these people, you know. The elders. Hurry up, Chief. You know we have come from Belfast. So now, there is no need for that. I know these people. I know the problems which are here. So you can just interpret. So we have had the problems which are here, the diseases which are affecting the people, like now the East Coast fever. The anthrax, and the brucellosis, and also the trips.
But can't you ask them something? But why didn't you let the elders at least tell you something? Because you are seeming to take everything on your own hands.
But I know this place. I know the problem with their livestock. So there is no need of even having dialogue with them. Because we know the place. I've been here for long. Just tell them we have got the drugs and we just need one person who can assist us in the treatments. And if I look around, I can see that young man there can do that job. He can come and assist the elders and I think that one, with that approach, we will be very successful.
Is that man, do you think he's willing?
Oh, he can do the job because they are the and you'll be serving their community.
But I thought you should have given them a little bit of chance, but...
You know, we're in a hurry. These drugs are there. If we continue waiting now...
Okay.
Yeah.
Young man, he can come, Chief. You can tell him.
Let's
go with him.
Yeah, let's go. Let's see how energetic he is. We go. Yeah.
Think about what you've just seen. Was that a good way to approach the community? Where do you think they went wrong? What could they have done instead? What will be the effect on the project? Stop the video while you discuss these questions.
Oh, it's about a year now. It's good to meet you. Can you tell me what has been happening with your project?
Oh.
The one that you started.
I tell you, that project is really not doing very well.
Yeah?
The community animal health workers, they are giving me a lot of problems. They wanted drugs for free. They also seem not to understand what they are doing.
Yeah?
And also, they are not giving the reports. And when I try to follow with the elders, I don't meet them. And the report I'm getting, the diseases are becoming even more.
Oh, this is
than
bad.
I thought. I don't know even what to do. What can we do? Do you have any other approach to this problem?
I think we are not very, very late.
Yes.
We can save the situation.
Yeah.
The last time we did not involve the community.
Yes.
And things went wrong.
Yeah.
But this time, if we involve the community, perhaps things may be right.
You know, when the chiefs introduces us politely to the people and we talk to them, they will give us their problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So welcome, Chief. You come out and introduce us to your people. Yes. You can show us the way where the elders are. We go and talk to them. Actually, it's true.
Just apologize on our behalf.
Yeah, tell them we want to help them again now.
Sebogogwa. Sebanabo. Otalani yanyu ajito melo topiki pichana daktaris da kamita ngatagal. Dai bengala ngala sakat ya bakya ko na lewi. Ke ko pichi kanyanga. Ko nanyu ako taglite chori akatakaita na kazi ako ngoka kwani Dr. Muzungi unaweza kuamka na kueleza sisi maneno yale unaye. Asante sana.
Subai Koko. Subai Napo. I'm very happy to be with you today. And as the chief has told you, we have come back here because we want to sort out problems concerning livestock. We know you are experts in your own way. And we want to bring our efforts together so that collectively we can be able to grow solutions of our own. Is there any elder who wants to say something?
Once the influential elders in Alale had been approached properly, they were interested in what a CAHW project might have to offer them. A community dialogue workshop was set up where the whole community was involved in giving information about their needs and discussing the important issues that might arise in the future.
Therefore, ask them, then what are the main problems that they experience with their livestock?
Involving the community in this way from the beginning will help sustain the project in the long term.
Always have dialogue with the community. Don't just go straight and say, I have something here brought for you. No, let them identify that this is a problem they are facing.
All the time they die, the animals die.
Then you plan with them on how to deal with it. Because many people just come and impose and say, I have some money here, why don't we do this? Let it come out from them that they have a problem. Because if they have a problem, then they'll think about how do they solve it.
If they're involved, then they don't look at the whole thing as alien. They look at it as their own thing. It is their own baby. And that's why it's very important to involve them right from the start, because it creates a sense of ownership. Whoever thinks the most important one is which one, he just says and we put a stone.
This process will take 4 to 5 days, with everyone being encouraged to participate throughout the period.
Another elder to come and rank.
The advantages of involving the community at the planning stage are many. They have a thorough knowledge of the problems their livestock face, the local area, and what might be the best solutions to their problems.
In the first thing, the community were involved in telling us about the area, about the kind of diseases they have, the most common diseases for all the species of animals. The community was also involved in telling us about the grazing patterns, and it was also involved in telling us about the situation before we came in. East Coast fever. Toroi is that one there. First tell her to put here.
It was important to keep consulting the community at every stage of the project.
Ask her which one.
One crucial issue is the selection of the community animal health workers.
If you were to select a man or a woman to be treating for you these animals within yourselves, what kind of person would you select so that he would do a good job for you?
We then went away and let them decide the criteria for selecting the CAHWs and who they wanted to do the work.
Any person who is ready at all times.
They agreed on criteria, or the kind of people who would do that. Maybe somebody who will not drink, somebody who is responsible, and all this kind. Somebody who has animals himself, and so forth.
A person who can care for the medicine.
A person who can care for the medicine. Tell him thank you very much. Another quality.
After about 5 days of discussion and analysis, everyone in the community has agreed they need and want a CAHW system. Was that a better way to approach the community? How was it better? Stop the video while you discuss this. There are other important ideas to be discussed with the community.
The services he's going to offer to you, when he treats your animal, what are you going to do?
Making sure they understand and accept the cost implications of a CAHW system is vital if the project is to be sustainable.
You have to pay him so that he may be able to buy more medicines, so that he may be able to come and help others.
Some communities even contributed funds towards the purchase of the drugs, so they feel like they own this kind of projects, because they see that it's a project that provides a service for them, and that's what they require. So they really support it, and they participate, and especially now they have embraced the idea of actually meeting the costs of the drugs, buying the drugs, so long as the animals are getting well.
We are paying for the service. They were trained and then it was passed. There are no free drugs. Now, if an animal is sick, are you going to treat it without paying? You have to pay for the services. There could be some other people who are complaining, but even if they complain and the animals are falling sick, they have to pay for the services. So in my area, everyone is paying for the services and no people complain. In every area there are people who like complaining, but in our case we don't have such people. We have to pay for the services without even saying.
Finally, once the CAHWs have been trained and are working, involving the community in monitoring and assessing how well they are doing is also essential.
They were told that this was their own project, this was their own service, these were their own animals, and these are their own people, and that they were supposed to report on the quality of service, who is doing a good job, who is not doing a good job, who has a